Dear brothers and sisters, let us continue the book reading Voicereal, written by Babuji Maharaj. Chapter The Light Burns On. As for myself, I can only say that with a rent up heart, I have plunged down deep into the infinite, not knowing what to do or where to go. May He carry me wherever He likes. Everything rests upon Him alone. But as a general rule, one having a plunge in must rise again above the surface once at least. And so did I, but only to find myself being carried away by the silent waves where I do not know. On and on I do go, not knowing the end. Here, Babuji Maharaj is explaining his state of condition. His state of condition is that he completely drowned into the deepest cores of that infinite ocean of ultimate reality, not knowing what he is doing and where he is going. It's really amazing one, because he submitted himself completely to the will of his master. So he is saying that may he carry me wherever he likes. And he left everything to the wish of his master. So whatever master bestows to him, that is acceptable, completely or totally acceptable to Babuji Maharaj. But however, the general rule of nature is that one who drowns into the water should come up or come out of that at least once. So Babuji Maharaj did the same thing, and he found the silent waves which are carrying him away without knowing the destiny. So that is, he is simply swimming and swimming. So he is not knowing the end of it. So let us read the next paragraph. I pour this out to you without reserve, only with the purpose of exciting in you a similar fire of madness as I am burning in, but he alone whom God himself pulls up may be successful in the pursuit. But to my greatest regret, I find that though all my downpour in this respect is meeting with high appreciation from the people, they do not lend their thought in the least to what they are to do themselves. Still, I am ever ready to serve them as best as I can. Here, Babuji Maharaj is saying that he is pouring all the things without any reservation to all of us, only with the purpose of exciting in all of us a similar fire of madness or state of condition, that burning desire to achieve the goal, as Babuji Maharaj is having within him. But fortunately, the person whom God selects pulls up and bestows that condition to him. So, such people are successful in their pursuit. So let us not get disappointed because of these words, and let us feel that we are one among them. So, and make ourselves deserving to achieve that condition. And further, Babuji Maharaj is regretting for not finding interest in the people, though he is ready to give everything to the abhyasis to achieve that state of condition. Though people appreciate all his downpour in this respect, and it is meeting with high appreciation from the people, but people are not showing that much interest what Babuji Maharaj is expecting from us. But still, Babuji Maharaj is always ready to serve all of us to the maximum possible extent. So, dear brethren, now it is our part to become deserving to achieve our goal and to get the things what Babuji Maharaj want to bestow upon all of us. Let us read further. We must all join hands in making the best of the opportunity that has so fortunately fallen to our lot. This day, though complete success is no doubt destined for him alone whom God has ordained, but the labor never goes in vain. It brings forth its own fruits to set the divine flow in motion. But persistent labor often becomes a difficult job for many. The reason is simply a lack of interest and craving. Some of them make their own self a sort of showroom. Others convert their hearts into caravanserai to admit all passers by. Everyone is quite sure that he has to give up his body someday. Still, he remains devoted to it beyond due limits, and often at the cost of other necessary things. I do not mean to induce you to neglect it altogether, for that too is a great sin. What I really mean is that due care and proper nourishment of the body must necessarily be looked to, but in accordance with fair need and necessity, so that it may be fully capable of discharging its due duties towards God and self as well as others. Here, Babuji Maharaj is saying that all of we must join our hands in making the best of the opportunity that is bestowed by God and which has so fortunately fallen to our lot. So, though complete success is no doubt it is destined for the person alone whom God has ordained, because God will select the person. Like our Babuji Maharaj, he selected him for the special purpose of nature work. But it doesn't mean that nobody should try for it. Everybody should try for that. And at the same time, the labor what an individual has done, it will never goes in vain. Definitely, it brings forth its own fruits to set the divine flow in motion. If sincere efforts are done, sincere practice is done by an individual abhyasi, definitely he will receive the divine flow. However, persistently the labor should be done. And of course, it is really a difficult job for many people. That's why they are lacking in their practice. So, the reason for this is simply lack of interest or craving. If one have that intense craving to achieve the goal, definitely he will strive hard. He will do the practice irrespective of his busy schedule. But some people, they make their own self a sort of showroom. That's what Babaji Maharaj is saying. And other convert their hearts into caravanserai. That means they want to exhibit what they are having before the people, and they expect that the people should start praising them. That is the reason why they make themselves a sort of showroom. And regarding this caravanserai, they go to some person for a spiritual help. Say, for a spiritual help, they approach a guru. They will take him also in their heart, and they start thinking about him. They start practicing some methods or system what that guru has taught them. And after that, they will leave this, and again they will switch over to some other. So again they will take all those things. They will bring that guru to their heart, and again they will do all this jugglery. And again they are not happy. Again they will approach some other people. Like this, they will make their heart a caravanserai. That is, anybody can come, stay, rest, and can go. So that is the state of condition of many people. And everyone is, of course, quite sure that one has to give up his body someday or the other day. But still, people remain more attached to it beyond limitations, and often at the cost of even of other necessary things also. See, the most important and necessary thing in our life is our spirituality, our spiritual progress, or realization of God, or achieving our goal, whatever you can say. But in spite of that, the people are more attached to their body, knowing that they have to leave this body one or the other day. Here Babaji Maharaj is saying that yes, we should never neglect our body, because it is bestowed by God only. Because when body is there, then only we can do our practice, our sadhana. Without that, we are nowhere. We cannot do the practice of spirituality. So, we should never neglect our body. At the same time, we should never give more importance to that. Because neglecting our body altogether is also a sin. Great sin. It is a great sin. Babaji Maharaj is really mean that due care and proper nourishment of the body must necessarily be looked to. It should be properly nourished. It should be taken care. And everything should be done for it. But in accordance with fair need and necessity. How much it is required. What is the necessity? That we have to think, and accordingly we have to take care of our body. Nowadays, people are running behind the fitness. They are doing many things to keep the body fit. They are taking the food in a measured calories, and they are doing so many workouts, going to the gym and that, this, everything they are following it. And that has become a very big subject in nowadays. Each and every family, I can say that. See, earlier days, they used to cook the food in the remembrance of God. And they used to have the food in the remembrance of God as a prasadam. That is sacred food. But now they are measuring it in terms of calories, that is carbs, fibers, proteins, everything. They are dissecting it. Instead of taking it as a prasadam with that pious thought or thinking. If we consume or if we prepare the food in the remembrance of God, it becomes a sacred prasadam. And if we consume that food in His remembrance, then that entire thing which has already been divinized by our cooking, way of cooking, that divine energy will go into your system and entire system gets divinized. This is the secret behind remembrance of God even during cooking as well as eating the food. So then each and every particle of our body gets divinized. So, dear brethren, we should take care of our body, no doubt in that. But in this way, not as a fitness center or measuring the food in the way of calories. So, a person who takes care of his body in accordance with the nature, he will be fully capable of discharging his duties towards God and self as well as others. This point we have to note it. Let us go to the next para. Everyone must be prepared to meet his end. That means he must attain the highest spiritual level as early as possible so that he may not have to regret when his end comes. Devotion and constant remembrance are the only sure means thereof God realization is not at all a difficult task provided one diverts his attention to it in the real sense, with faith and confidence, resigning himself completely to his will. It can be very easily accomplished if one attends to the due discharge of one's worldly duties, taking everything in the sense of God's command. Here, Babuji Maharaj is saying that everyone must be prepared to meet his end. Always be ready. Be ready, be prepared to meet our end, that is the death. That means we should attain the highest spiritual level as early as possible, so that afterwards we should not regret, "Arey, I could not achieve my spiritual level or highest level of my spiritual attainment. So I missed this opportunity." Like that, one should never regret when our end approaches us. So, dear brethren, from now onwards, from this moment only, let us start practicing sincerely with love and devotion. So, because love and devotion and constant remembrance are the only surest means to achieve our goal. And God realization is not at all difficult task. That's what Babuji Maharaj is saying us. He is emphasizing God realization is not at all difficult task, provided one completely diverts his attention to it in the real sense. This is very important point. Just people say that, yes, I am practicing since so many years, I am doing that, I met Babuji, that, this, all things people will say. But what is the end result of that? Have we achieved that highest state of condition what Babuji Maharaj is saying or not? If not, why? What is that thing which is not making us to achieve that? All those checks should be there. Because first is lack of interest and lack of faith and confidence, devotion and love. These are all the things. If we lack in that, definitely we cannot progress as wished by Babuji Maharaj. So, with faith and confidence, one should rise himself completely to the will of the Master. That's what Babuji Maharaj is saying. And this can be very easily accomplished if one attends to the due discharge of one's worldly duties, taking everything in the sense of God's command. This is very, very important point to be noted. Because since morning we get up from the bed until we go to the bed in the night, we discharge so many duties. Maybe our personal, official, or something else. Family or something else. In that duty, if we think that we are doing the service of our Master, instead of I am doing for my wife, my husband, my children, or my friends, or for my officer, or etc. like that. Instead of thinking like that, if we think that I am doing the duty of my master has given me this beautiful family, such a good job, such a nice neighbors. So whatever the service I do, even for doing myself also, see, if we think that I am taking bath, then I am caught in that. If I think that Babaji Maharaj, he himself is taking bath, so then where is the question of that I? It will not remain. It vanishes. Similar way, if we start doing the service to our family member as I am doing the service to my master, then where that question of my or I or my family remains? Will it remain? No, it will not remain. It will vanish. There only master remains. So that's what Babaji Maharaj is saying in a simple sentence. So it can be very easily accomplished if we attend all our duties and submit everything to our master in his remembrance or in the remembrance of God. So, dear brethren, with this, let us conclude today's satsang and let us know more aspects in the forthcoming satsang. Till then, I take leave. Pranams. Namaste.